Preface. There is no difference between the teachings of Lord Chaitanya presented here and the teachings of Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. The teachings of Lord Chaitanya is practical demonstration of the teachings of Lord Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita, the last word of Lord is that everyone should surrender unto him, Lord Krishna, and that he will take immediate charge of such a surrendered soul. The Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is already in charge of maintenance of this creation by his plenary expansion as Kshirodakshai Vishnu. But such maintenance by the Lord is not specific. When therefore the Lord takes charge, it means that he takes particular charge of a pure devotee. A pure devotee is a soul even surrendered to the Lord like a child to his parents or an animal to his master. This surrendering process is manifested in 6 different stages, namely, first, to accept the things favorable for discharging devotional service, to reject things unfavorable for discharging devotional service, to believe firmly that Lord will protect his devotee always, to feel exclusively dependent on the mercy of Lord, to have no separate interest besides the interest of Lord, and sixth, always to feel oneself meek and humble. Therefore, Lord Krishna demanded that one should surrender unto him through the above mentioned 6 phases of surrendering process. But the less intelligent class of men and so-called scholars of the world misunderstand these demands of Lord and thus misguided the general mass of people to reject them. In the Bhagavad Gita, at the end of 9th chapter, the Lord directly orders one to always think of him because his devotee worship him only, offer obeisances unto him only, and by doing so one is sure to come to him in his transcendental abode. But so-called scholarly demons misguide the mass of people, directing them not to surrender like that to the personality of Godhead, but rather to be to the impersonal, non-manifested, eternal, unborn truth. The Mayavadi impersonalist philosopher do not accept that the last word in the matter of understanding the absolute truth is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If one desire to understand the sum as he is, one faces first of all the sunshine and then the sun globe. Understand? If one desire to understand the sun as he is, one faces of all the sunshine and then the sun globe, and at last one is able to enter into that globe. There is the possibility of seeing face to face predominating deity of the sun. The Mayavadi philosopher, due to the poor fund of knowledge, cannot see go beyond the Brahm effulgence, which is like a sunshine. The Upanishads confirm that one have to penetrate the dazzling effulgence of Brahm, and then one can see the real face of personality of Godhead. Lord Chaitanya therefore teaches us directly that one has to worship Lord Krishna, who appeared as the foster child of the king of Braj. He also recommends that the place known as Vrindavan is as good as Lord Krishna because Lord Krishna, being the absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, there is no difference between his name, quality, form, pastimes, entourage, and paraphernalia. Lord Chaitanya also recommended that the mode of worshipping the Lord in highest perfectional stage is method of worship conceived by damsels of Vraj. The damsels of Vraj, the gopis, simply loved Krishna without any motive for material or spiritual gain. He also recommended that Srimad Bhagavatam is the spotless narration of transcendental knowledge and that the highest gain in the human form of life is to develop unalloyed love of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Chaitanya's teachings are exactly the same as those given by Lord Kapil, the original propounder of Sankhya Yoga or Sankhya system of philosophy. This authorized system of yoga is practiced on principle of meditation on transcendental form of the Lord. There is no meditating on something void or impersonal involved. When one is practiced to meditate upon transcendental form of Lord Vishnu, even without sitting posture in a particular place and atmosphere, the stage is called perfect samadhi. This perfect samadhi of Sankhya Yoga is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita at the end of 6th chapter, where the Lord says that all of the yogis, one who constantly think of Lord within the core of his heart with love and devotion, is the greatest. Lord Chaitanya instructed that Sankhya Yoga, or system of philosophy called Achintya Veda Ved Tattva, simultaneously one and different, most practically for everyone among mass of people, simply by chanting holy name of Lord. He says that the holy name of Lord is the sound vibration form of the Lord. The Lord being the absolute whole, there is no difference between his holy name and his transcendental form. Therefore, by chanting the holy name of Lord, one can directly associate with Supreme Lord by sound vibration. This sound vibration of the Lord has three stages of development, namely, first offensive stage, second clearing stage, and third is transcendental stage. In the offensive stage, one may desire all kind of material happiness or distress as one act, but in the second stage of chanting, one become cleared from all material contamination. But when one is situated on transcendental stage, one achieves the most covetable perfection, the stage of loving God. Lord Chaitanya recommended that this is the highest stage of perfection for the human being. Yoga practice is essentially meant for controlling the senses. Mind is central controlling factor of all senses, and therefore one has to practice first controlling the mind by engaging the mind in matter of Krishna consciousness. The gross activities of mind are expressed through external senses, either for acquiring knowledge or functioning under the will, and the subtle activities of mind are thinking, feeling, and willing according to different attitudes of consciousness. This consciousness is either polluted or clear. If the mind is fixed up in Krishna, his name, quality, form, pastime, entourage, and paraphernalia, then the whole of the activity, subtle and gross, is changed favorably. The Bhagavad Gita's process of purifying consciousness is to fix the mind on Krishna, to talk of his transcendental activities, to cleanse the temple of Lord, to walk the temple of Lord, to see the beautiful transcendental form of Lord nicely decorated, to hear his transcendental glories, to taste foodstuff offered to the Lord, to smell the flowers, tulsi leaves, and offered to the Lord, to associate with the Lord's devotees, to engage oneself in activities for interest of Lord, and to become angry also at those who are envious of the devotees. No one can stop the activities of mind or senses, but one can purify such activities by changing the account. This change of account is recommended in Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, text 39. A human being is sometimes restricted in matter of sense gratification under certain circumstances of disease, etc. But the prescription or regulative principle is for the less intelligent class of men. Such less intelligent men, without knowing the actual process of controlling the mind and senses, either want to stop them by force or to give them up or to be carried away by the waves of sense gratification. The 8 formulas of practicing yoga, regulative principles, following the rules, practicing different sitting postures, breathing exercises, and thus to withdraw the senses from the sense objects, etc., are meant for persons who are too engrossed in bodily concept of life. But the intelligent man who is situated in Krishna consciousness does not forcibly stop his senses from acting on behalf of Krishna. You cannot stop a child from his playful activities and leave him inactive, but you can stop him from engaging in a superior activities. Similarly, the forceful restraint of sense activities by following the 8 principles of yoga practice is recommended for an inferior class of men. But the superior class of men, being engaged in better activities of Krishna consciousness, naturally retire from inferior activities of material existence. Lord Chaitanya in this way teaches us the science of Krishna consciousness, which is absolute. Dry mental speculators try to restrain themselves from material attachment, but it is generally found that mind being too strong to be controlled sometimes drag such speculators down in the matter of sensual activities. But there is no such chance for persons in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, one have to engage one's mind and senses in Krishna conscious activities. And how this is practically possible is taught by Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Before his acceptance of the sannyas or renounced order of life, Lord Chaitanya was known as Vishwambar. Vishwambar means the one who maintains the whole universe as leader of all the living entities. The very same maintainer and leader of all living entities appeared as Lord Krishna Chaitanya to give us the sublime teachings of life and was the ideal teacher of prime necessities of life. He is the most munificent giver of love of Krishna. He is complete reservoir of all mercies and auspiciousness. Although he is Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna is as is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharata and Upanishads. He appeared as worshipable by everyone in age of disagreement. Everyone can join in his Sankirtan movement without any previous qualification, and everyone can become the most perfect human being by following his teachings. If anyone is fortunate enough to be attracted by all his features and manifestation, one is sure to be successful in missions of one life. In one word, those who are interested in being situated in spiritual existence can get easily relieved from clutches of Maya by grace of Lord Chaitanya, now presented in book form of teachings of Lord Chaitanya, non-different from the Lord. The conditioned soul, being engrossed in material body, increases the pages of history of all kinds of material activities. But teachings of Lord Chaitanya can help human society to stop such unnecessary temporary activities and can elevate one to topmost platform of spiritual activities which begin after liberation from material bondage. Such liberated activities in Krishna consciousness are goal of human perfection. The false prestige of acquiring lordship over the material nature is illusion only, and one can get illuminating knowledge from the teachings of Lord Chaitanya in order to advance in one's spiritual existence. One has to suffer or enjoy the fruits of one's activities, and nobody can check the law of material nature which governs such things. So, Lord, as one is engaged in such activities, one is sure to be baffled in attempting to achieve the ultimate goal of life. I hope, therefore, most sincerely that by understanding the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, human society will have a new light of spiritual life, opening the field of activities of the pure soul. 14th March 1968, birthday of Lord Chaitanya, Sri Sri Radha Krishna Temple, New York. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Om Tat Sat.